Welcome, everybody, to our latest edition of Market Wrap. We are still coming to you from my kitchen. Obviously, COVID-19 is still roaring out there, and we are all social distancing, working from home, staying safe, driving my wife and kids crazy, but still loving watches. So thanks for joining us again. I have a feeling we'll have a few more of these editions from home and eventually get back to the office. Can't wait to get back to our trading floor. So the first watch we're going to talk about this week is the Patek 5170P. This is the latest iteration of the classic two-register Patek chronograph. This is the new in-house version, in-house movement, the platinum with this gorgeous blue dial. Granted, I was a little on the fence about it when it first came out because it has diamond markers. I'm not a big diamond guy, but it has grown on me over time. Now that it's discontinued, we seem to be seeing fewer and fewer of them, so it was nice to see that come across our desk this week. And it is definitely growing on me. Beautiful dial. The second piece we got in this week is an IWC Grand Comp. IWC introduced their 3770 series, perpetual calendar, minute repeater, chronograph. 50 pieces a year, limited. This particular version is yellow gold. It's an amazing value. It's a big watch, super complicated, great sound to it. And it's a piece that's going to come in under $50,000, where it was 150. The new version is 200,000 retail. Great value, great size of IWC, and just an amazing complication. And the last piece is kind of an unusual one, only because it's the stainless steel Yacht 2. Now, why would I care that a Yacht 2 came in? So this particular version has the new Mercedes hands. So it's slightly different from the original blue hand version. You don't see very many of them. It's not the most popular sport model, but it's great size, great look, and I love the new hands. And again, we just don't see them very often because who's going to actually use a yachting timer? But it's really cool. Love sport Rolexes. Be happier to have that one in the collection. So this week, we wanted to talk a little bit more about the market. Obviously, COVID's having a huge effect. We saw Baselworld take a mortal blow. They took another blow this week with all the LVMH group agreeing they are leaving as well. So now basically the entire first floor main building of Basel is empty. I would assume this is a death blow. They have not yet officially announced that they won't be going forward, but I would expect we'll hear from that shortly. We did hear an announcement from Watches and Wonders, which is the new show of SIHH, which is now going to be connected with Patek and Rolex. And they are actually starting an online forum and engagement on April 25th. They've got a new website. I'm very curious to see what the digital transformation is going to be. Are they going to try to introduce product? Will we go into depth on the houses? But I think this is the first transition we're going to see from traditional trade shows to digital world. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to have introductions come out online. Most people don't get to go to Basel anyways, so their first experience with the show is online. So I think this is just the next step along the way. I really believe, I hope that this will push Rolex and Patek into considering doing some digital going forward and maybe doing their new introductions this year instead of waiting for the new show next year. So we'll see what happens on that. We'll keep you posted. We had a really active trading week this week. Volume is definitely picking back up. Switzerland and Hong Kong are mostly back online. Switzerland's going to be reopening in a week. Outside of restaurants and bars, Hong Kong is operating mostly normally, so we're seeing more activity there. And the U.S. is starting to show glimmers of hope. I know there's a lot of states that are starting to reopen. Obviously, we're still at home, but people seem to be getting used to being at home and are getting to be a little more active. We got a lot of inquiries coming in this week. Rolex has been super active. We did a lot of volume last week. We're buying again. We're trading regularly. Every Batgirl and Pepsi at these new levels seem to be coming in and going out almost immediately. We have also seen really big strength on deep seas. That was a watch that had gotten expensive and has now come back to, under 10. We actually sold a couple last week, under 9. And at that level, they seem to be flying again. So it's great to see that watch come out and pick up. We have seen the Hulks and the Daytonas slow down a little bit. I think that might be to the fact that we don't really know if it's being discontinued on the Hulk. And until that announcement comes up, it might just tread water. So those slow down where other models have taken off. I'm seeing more activity again in Nautilus. albeit at lower prices. People are showing interest. Patek, Nautilus, Aquanauts are trading again. Where we're seeing really quiet to me is the 5235 regulators, the 5140. They're at great prices and they still seem to be sitting. So I'm surprised more activity there, but I think that'll pick up as the weeks pass and people are more comfortable and realize there's great values out there. We had a very strong Moser week. We've got a great collection right now. They're at a great value, fantastic watches. And IWC continues to show strength as the market seems to be broadening, especially in the under 10,000 range. 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were really only selling Rolex. Now in that lower end price point, we're seeing more and more brands pick up, IWC, Panerai, Moser. And I think that's just people getting more comfortable with the market and the normalcy. We have still not seen much pickup on the high end outside of Patek. But I think that's going to take another few weeks to get back to some sense of normal, or may even take longer before some of those brands start trading again. I think the big trick to this going forward, I would expect we're going to be here another 3 to 4 weeks. And then we'll start attempting to reopen. I think New York is going to be very slow to come back. And that's going to affect our market both on new goods and on pre-owns, because obviously New York's the biggest center in the US. US is one of the biggest markets in the world. All the big retailers are there, all the boutiques are there, and we won't probably see them for a while. So new goods coming to market might be a little slow, which will support the secondary market. I think when they do all reopen, I think you'll see a flood of good hit the market, and we might see another price drop, and then expect to be stabilized by the third or fourth quarter. So long-term buys is our new section at the end. I think Batman, I'm loving. I'm wearing my Batman today. Always a great knockaround. No longer out there. Prices have come back down. So, it's just small premium from what it was trading at. And eventually, I think that's going to creep back up. So I think that's a great buy right now. The 5170 we talked about earlier is, to me, a great buy. They really had a short run on that model. 5172 has now replaced it. It's got mixed reviews. So the 5170, I think, is going to grow. Platinum, blue dial, 2-register chronograph, first in-house Patek movement. Should be a great long-term hold. And the last one was another watch we got in this week. We got in the Snoopy, but the black dial one. And again, those are trading at probably a third of the price of the white ones. So I think long-term, that Snoopy's going to come back to life and really take off. They're also talking about doing a new version later this year, which will, again, create more interest in that thing. And it should be a great long-term hold. That's about all I got for this week. Hopefully, we'll have more new stuff coming in next week. We're doing our shows on Instagram every day at 11 o'clock. Please follow us. We love the interaction, the content. I actually did one today with Q. It's great. Keep sending in the feedback, keep sending in questions. We'll try to get to as many of them as we can. And everybody, please stay safe and pray for our frontline workers. We'll all get through this together. Have a great week.